We've talked about how we figure out what key concepts to research. Now we actually have to figure out what's important and what we can trust and what we want to look at. So when we're doing research, one of the places we can go is Google, but we can also use things like Britannica.com and lots of other resources. So if we start with our topic of the Civil War and we type into Google American Civil War, we're going to get a lot of information. And so then we have this huge list, and the question becomes, how do we determine what's important and what's not? So the first key thing to look at is the ends of your URLs. So this one down here where it says history.com, history.com is generally going to be a trusted source. Here where we have a .org, battlefields.org, that can also be a trusted source. Now, battlefields.org is going to tell me all about the battlefields. If my Gateway project isn't focusing on every single battle in the Civil War, it might not be my best source because it's going to give me maybe too much information that I don't need. So, as we continue down looking at these, here's another one that's a .com. Our .com is maybe not as trusted, but again, it's a history.com, so that makes it okay. Here's a Britannica. This is going to be a great source because it's coming from an encyclopedia, so it's going to give me a general picture and general information that will help me figure out where I'm going. Down here we see a historynet.com. This one's trying to trick me because it's HistoryNet, and I was getting ready to tell you guys that .net would be a great source, but because of that .com, I don't know how much I trust it, so I'd have to look at it and see. So let's look at that one and see what we got. So here it is talking about the causes of our Civil War, and it gives us a huge list of events that led up to the Civil War, and then it's listing several other articles, and it gives me a summary where we talk about slavery and each of these decisions. So this might be a great starting point, but if I start reading this and I find that it's a little confusing or I don't understand what it's saying, it's not a good source to use and I wouldn't want to use it. So let's go back and look at the Britannica and see what it says. The nice thing about Britannica is that it's going to give us some additional bold terms that tell us when something's important. And it's going to break things down and conceivably even give us a timeline that might help us to better understand the flow of events. And it gives us hyperlinks linking us to additional information. So as we're reading, if we want to learn about what secession is, we can click on it and learn. But these are the kinds of things that we want to be looking for, these quality resources like Encyclopedia Britannica, which is a trusted resource. There are other sources that are going to come up that are not going to be trusted just because they're not what we need, like the New Yorker. It's probably not going to tell us what we need. Also, is America headed for a new kind of civil war? Look at the date it's written. This isn't what we're looking for. It has civil war in it, and so Google pegged it and took it and gave it to us because it has part of what we're looking for. It has America and Civil War, but it's not actually relevant to my topic. So you have to make sure that you're reading carefully.